I'm looking for information on how to export cocoa beans.
Export Products Atlas. I need information on how to package cashew for export. Export Products Atlas.
Okay, how about information on the quality requirements of ginger for export?
Export Products Atlas.
All right, what of information on how to do my pricing and costing for sesame seed export?
Export Products Atlas.
What if I want information on how to find buyers abroad for dried hibiscus flowers?
Export Products Atlas.
How can I get information on how to export yam tubers and prevent spoilage?
Export Products Atlas.
What if I need information on how to prevent quality issues in soybeans export?
Export Products Atlas.
How do I know the documentation requirements for the export of sheer nuts?
Export Products Atlas.
So, are you telling me that this one book contains all these information about exporting different products?
Yes, it is your ultimate guide to successfully export 20 key agro-commodities.
It is not just a book, it is an atlas that provides comprehensive export products information in colorful charts and pictures. It is easy to read, saves you time, conserves your energy, and is pocket-friendly. The Export Product Atlas is the most important book you'll ever read for successful export business. It is a one-stop shop for all the information required to export a particular product. So, either as an intending or current exporter, or banker, funding export business, this is a must-have for all and sundry in the sector. To place your pre-order, call or chat 080920000424. Export Products Atlas, your ultimate guide to successfully export 20 key agro-commodities.
All right. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for joining this conversation again today. And by the way, we've been on this for a while now. We are moving on to part 3 and discussing quality issue every week, considering what the challenge of quality, in Nigeria, which I think if there is one state of emergency, maybe we need to declare a state of emergency in the export sector as far as quality issue is concerned, because quite frankly, the quality issue is of great concern that if it's not well dealt with, is going to be a major impediment for the progress of the sector. A major impediment for the progress of the sector. Last week, I looked at one of the major reasons why Nigerian products are rejected. And what we discussed last week is arguably one of the major reasons affecting a lot of commodities, particularly sesame seed and a number of other commodities, particularly in the European market. Now, and the data I'm working with is only looking at European market. That means North and South America are not part of it. That means Asia, Middle East are not part of it. So that means if we decide to add those ones to it, I really don't know what the outcome is likely going to be like. I really don't know what the outcome is likely going to be like, because quite frankly, I think we need to do something urgently and very fast about the quality issue in this sector. So today we are looking at addressing quality problem. Nigerian export crisis, addressing the quality problem, and we're looking at part 3. And what is the focus of part 3? The focus of part 3 is documentation. You know, I've always said that international trade is largely a business of documentation and also logistics. In fact, I had to change my case study because something happened this week affecting India. something happened this week affecting India. It was an Indian export of mango. It was an Indian export of mango to the US. It was about $500 million worth of goods. $500 million worth of goods. And guess what? This item was rejected because this item was rejected to be destroyed because of documentation. This item was rejected to be destroyed because of documentation. That is how important, that is how serious the issue of documentation is in international trade. In fact, when I saw the news, I saw it on LinkedIn. I saw it on LinkedIn, and I had to go and check. And in my search, I just realized that it's not a lot of blogs were writing about it because it was a colossal loss. A lot of blogs were writing about it because it was a colossal loss. And they needed to amplify the issue, particularly for the government to be aware. What was interesting about this is that the quality check expected to be done was done. The quality checks that was expected to be done by a US facility. The quality checks that was expected to be done at a US facility in India was done. So it wasn't like the quality check was not done, but there were discrepancies and issues with the documentation. There were discrepancies and issues with the documentation. And the reason for the rejection, the reason why the good had to be destroyed, was because of documentation. Even though the good passed quality test, at least according to the story, even though the goods passed quality test, sorry, $500,000, not $500 million, $500,000, $500,000 worth of goods. I have to go and check. 500,000. So even though the good pass quality checks, that will not stop the US authority from destroying the goods. They rejected 15 mango shipments from India at key airports from Los Angeles to San Francisco to Atlanta due to documentation issue. The exporter were forced to destroy the consignment in the US or re-export it back, which is very not viable financially. And US is the largest export market for Indian mango. And they rejected good worth $500,000, about 4.15 crore rupees, approximately $500,000, because of documentation for goods that were tested, that they had a facility in the US, India, where the quality were done. But in spite of that, Now, I'm amplifying this conversation to emphasize how important quality issue is in export transaction. How important quality issue is in export transaction. And one of this book is due to be released within on or before mid-June. Currently, pre-order is going on. And one of the sections in the book was on paperwork, documentation, paperwork, documentation, paperwork, documentation. And, it's so important to understand, when I say international trade is largely a business of documentation. If you convert the amount of the goods that was rejected this week, if you convert the amount to Naira at 1.6, that's about 800 million worth of goods that was destroyed because of what? Issues with documentation. That was destroyed because of what? Issues with documentation. All right, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Global Trade Tutor, Voice of African Trade. So today, remember this session is available, free recordings available on globaltradecollect.com. Free recordings available on globaltradecollect.com. And you can get the link to this program every week on Telegram. Remember the step-by-step export process from preparation, and with adequate preparation and export readiness, you will be able to do your promotion effectively, and being able to promote is critical because being able to promote means you will be able to get a purchase order, and with purchase order and pricing negotiated, purchase order signed, you can commence your procurement or production if you're a manufacturer. Then the good ready for shipment, packaging and labeling is done. Then you do your pre-export documentation, number 6, post-export documentation, number 8. That is the focus today. But from number 1 preparation, you will have been able to know exactly how to fix number 6 and number 8. Particularly number 8, the issue with the Indian shipment that I talked about is number 8, post-export documentation. So pre-export documentation, port clearance and shipment, or an inspection at origin, post-export documentation, while port-to-port shipment is going on, document is presented to the buyer is banked, port clearing and inspection at destination, payment. Let me define quality again. And I do this every week just to remind ourselves what quality encompasses, what it entails. Quality encompasses a range of factors. A range of factors that determine a product's suitability for its intended purpose and its ability to meet the expectation of the buyer.
To get the full video, check the description or visit www.globaltradecollege.com.